Welcome to the heart and soul of Outdoors Radio. It's the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show. In our 11th season, we continue to share facts and give advice on the great outdoors, where we never let the lack of facts come between us and a good story. Guys who are dedicated to helping you become a better outdoorsman. Your host, Gary McCoy, who's no stranger to the radio world or the outdoors, with a CMA to his credit for best personality. A well-accomplished outdoorsman who loves the thrill of taking a big buck or putting a bass in the live well. Mike Eccles, born and raised in Louisiana, who's fished and hunted his entire life and continues to chase ducks in the backwaters and pull bass off cypress trees. And the Boss Tournament Trail Director who runs the best team circuit in Louisiana. Steve Graff, raised in the woods and waterways of East Texas, a former Northwestern State two-sport athlete and tournament angler who continues to strive for big bass and winning stringers. And last but not least, Jay Watley, the brains and producer of the show who pushes all the right buttons. A man with unmatched talent who excels in making these guys look good and this show sound great. Now let's jump off the front deck and make the first cast with the boys who know it all, Gary, Steve, Mike, and Jay.
You know it's going to be a long day and that you've gotten old when the email comes through right before the show starts that says how to beat prostate cancer. I just came in. It's one of those things, you know.
Well, now you know.
Yeah, now I know.
I think a lot of that prostate cancer is caused by that doctor with big fingers.
Golly. Hey, we are hooking up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger, Gary McCoy, along with the Ranger Iowa Pro staffer Steve Graff.
That's me.
The Mud Hen, Mike Eccles, in the house today, and he's wearing his Raising Cane's little visor, little tennis cap.
You like that?
One love.
You know,
Raising Cane's or Chick-fil-A?
no, Raising Cane's all day, man.
Is it really?
Well, yeah.
Wow.
I'm a Chick-fil-A. I like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I might be paid to say that,
Yeah.
but
You know,
All right, now,
Oh, okay.
now Chick-fil-A or Raising Cane's for breakfast?
Chick-fil-A.
Amen.
But what about on Sundays?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not open.
You got to do something because you're still hungry.
You got to eat.
And there's always Yardbird.
cook lunch yourself.
Yeah.
That's what you do on
Hey,
Sunday.
yes.
You cook lunch yourself for the
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Jay's not in that category.
That's just crazy.
Do you grill?
I do. I grilled last night.
You grill. I'm good.
What'd you grill?
Burn my hand. Some chicken tenderloins.
There you go.
Hey, you don't know where a
couple-
fella could get 20 steaks for $30, do
I know
you?
just the place, man.
Ribeyes.
Scott Martin texted me last week. He's like, "Hey, dude, I hear there's a great deal on some ribeyes. Do you know where a fella can get some ribeyes?"
Hey, man, I left those in the freezer last night. Grilled up some filet mignons.
Some filet mignons. I like those.
Those are
Do
good.
y'all wear a visor? I mean, I like the visor.
I can't wear a visor. I can't pull it off.
I tell you what, you go out to Mudbug Madness next year and you win the crawfish eating contest and you'll get one.
I remember
All right.
when I was a little girl and I had one of those.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah. It was a long time
I
ago.
used to wear a visor, but my hair got so thin on top. Really,
You get burned?
you get burned.
burned.
I mean, actually, I'm using styling gel with SP30 in it now.
And a blue pill.
Yeah.
Hey, the opening
Hey.
segment of today's show brought to you
Don't
by
knock it
Steve.
till you've
Hitting below the belt now.
bottle of them
Ba-da-ba.
below the belt.
Segment brought to you by Steve Nichols Specialty Track Hoe, Lake Fork Guide. Johnny Guy's going to be on the show today. And Despino Jim South Tire. We're going to be talking about Randy Despino again this week. For all your tire needs, from the family car to farm equipment, go to DespinoTire.com to find a dealer near you. Now, this is kind of cool. I like what you did with today's show, because here we are. We've got two humongous national championships right here in the Shreveport-Bossier area that are going on, and somehow or another, you've got us talking about how to protect your feet in cold weather. This is all. I mean, with both of
Oh, well, where do you see that? There better not be nothing on there like
it's
that.
not really. That's not it. We are going to have Randy Deaver on.
And we're going to talk about hydration today,
Now,
too.
you know what? He had to get special permission from the FLW.
Yeah, he did.
Because he is competing in the BFL All-American along with Randy Despino and Nick LeBrun and 95 other anglers.
Yeah, about 40-something pros and 40-something co-anglers.
Yeah. Now, these guys are going to be on Cross Lake. Randy probably on the lake now.
Yeah, their price today is the official price. One of the official prices.
But he had to get special permission because we had a promise that we weren't going to tell him how we would do it if he was there.
Exactly.
So that means that only Eccles and I are going to do that segment.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you what.
Okay.
Oh, Randy
I made him
Devers.
turn red.
Randy Devers doesn't need our help.
No.
Also on the show today, Johnny Geis. I mentioned this a minute ago. We've got the United Rentals question of the day for Johnny this week. What is the most influential factor when it comes to summertime fishing? Is it the wind? Is it the clouds? Or is it the time of day?
Yeah.
Great question.
I thought it was a good question.
You know, I mean, that's one of the things that
My brain hurt. I was trying to think so hard. So.
Well, I can tell you right now what Johnny Geis is going to say.
What?
It's going to be the time of day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he lives off that Salooner deal.
Yeah.
Isolunar chart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isolunar. I wore those in my shoes.
I was going to say, I thought those goes in your slippers. We also have on the show today our Cigar Hot Topic, the importance of hydration and 5 tips on how to stay cool while outdoors or on the water.
Yeah.
And that's a great point with the Collegiate National Championship this week on Red River. The guys had the first day of competition. They're going to be weighing in here at 2:30 this afternoon.
Yeah.
They'll have the weigh-in today and tomorrow for that one.
Now, that's at Red River South.
Red River
isn't it?
South.
Yeah.
Now, on Friday, they'll be weighing in at Bass Pro Shop.
Is that their final day Friday?
Friday
Yeah,
is their
Friday's
final
their
day.
final day.
They'll be
And-
weighing in about an hour ahead of the All-American weighing in.
Right, exactly. All-American is going to be weighing in all 3 days. They'll start competition tomorrow. They'll go Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
You know, if FLW was smart, and they are, but if they were really smart, since you put this segment together for staying hydrated, they would make it mandatory that everybody fishing that tournament has to stop and listen from 11 to 1. I mean, we could save their lives.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no
Hey.
doubt. No doubt.
You know what? It could be like T-ball or the pony football.
Yeah.
You know, they have a mandatory timeout where you got to hydrate. They have a mandatory hydration timeout.
Yeah.
It's like every 10 minutes. or
NCAA basketball does the same thing.
Do they?
Yep.
When did it just quit getting a drink of water and
Hydration. Now, I
go
will say
drink
that-
some water?
And now you can't drink out of the water
Wait a
hose.
minute.
It causes
Graf-
cancer to drink out of the water hose.
You know, Graf and I fished together Saturday, and he said something that I had not thought about. You drink that smart water
Yep.
when you're out fishing.
Yep.
And
When's
it's
it
got
going to kick in?
Well, it's a slow. You have to
Makes
drink
me
a
laugh.
lot of it,
Makes-
Mike.
Jay's got snot bubbles coming out of his nose.
Yeah.
He laughed so hard
That
on
was
that
a good one, man. Spit out my Cheez-Its for you.
There you go.
But it's got electrolytes in it.
You got electrolyte. That's right.
So
So
that-
you can't even taste the difference. It's
So
just
what's the difference
water.
in that and Gatorade?
Gatorade makes me thirsty. It's got sodium in it. I
Okay,
hate
yeah.
the Gatorade. I don't like that.
Okay.
I'm not a Gatorade guy.
Let me mention today's or this week's Facebook sponsor spotlight.
Yeah.
Nichols Department Stores.
Yep.
I stayed last weekend with Kirk Carver down at Toledo Town. And, he's gotten to the point now to where, this time of the year, he is just constantly there in the store. And he said used to, when Debbie was alive, he said Debbie and I would just have to break away and go do something because it would get so busy.
Yeah.
And, that was one of the things for him that he misses the most is Debbie. He
And
says
she was a great
He says
person.
it's still a fantastic store.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he says, but I just he said she was one of my very best friends.
I don't mind saying this over the air. When she was in the hospital
Mm-hmm.
and things were not looking good, and she had basically sold out to the girl that took it over,
Mm-hmm.
she told her, she said, make sure you continue to sponsor Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought, wow.
Well,
That made me feel pretty good.
hunting, fishing, all this kind of stuff. You
Yep.
know, I mean, if you're in the Coshada area, you're going to be fishing the Red River, Grand
Yep.
Bayou.
Yep.
Maybe you're headed westward towards Toledo Bend. It's worth a stop because you're going to find stuff at Nichols that you might not find anywhere else.
Oh, that's exactly right.
It's a Victoria's Secret for rednecks.
There you go. That's a good
Dude.
That needs to be a new slogan, Mike.
Golly. You know what? Nichols, the Victoria's Secret for rednecks. I could see it now in neon.
I want the what you call it? The
Royalties on that.
Yeah,
Hey, we got a Boss National Championship.
Yeah,
the Boss.
all this
National
other
Champ-
stuff that FLW.
Now, I can't give Gary information, though, can I?
No, don't give me any information.
No. The Landers
the
Ram.
Boss
Yeah, Landers Ram.
National, the International World
Intergalactic
Championship.
Championship sponsored by Ranger Boats
Universal.
and Landers Dodge of Shreveport, Ram Trucks, and Bayou Outdoors, and all that other good stuff, and all our great sponsors. 4 qualifying tournaments through the year. We've got 84 teams that actually qualified to fish the championship. I look for 75 to actually sign up by the end of today.
Oh, today's deadline.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be.
That's
Yeah.
it. What do you mean it's supposed to be? Is it or not?
Moving right along. Get to Bayou Outdoors or call me after 1 o'clock and sign up if you haven't signed up.
And
today.
don't call Mike at 6 o'clock in the evening while
I don't mind
When he's
eating dinner.
Just
Eating.
Friday. I just don't
Eating.
like it on Friday.
Tacos and
Yeah,
drinking a cold one.
My body is craving enchiladas and Bud Light.
Hey, now
Friday
listen.
night.
Are you gonna be down Friday night?
I'm not planning on it because
Okay.
there's absolutely nothing for me to do.
Yeah, but if you were going to be out, I was going to treat you to some good tamales and stuff there at the
corner.
At the corner.
Man.
Dude.
Well, Billy Phipps had already invited us over on Saturday for a barbecue.
See?
So I mean, a lot of good camaraderie and socializing going on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the Landers Ram Boss Tournament Trail Championship, sponsored by Bayou Outdoors and Ranger Boats, giving away 2 Ranger boats at the end of the tournament Saturday
One
and
aluminum,
Sunday.
one fiberglass.
Yes, and the deal is you cannot if you qualified for this tournament, you cannot have been on the water this week, Monday through Friday. You cannot be down, can't go to the lake. The other thing, you can't receive information from anybody that is not a participant in the tournament.
So don't call me.
Now
people.
listen.
Don't call me.
Could I give advice now on how people could catch fish? Could I do that? And because I'm not
This is
getting
a public
information,
forum.
and this is a public thing.
If it's public, yes.
I know exactly where to go if you want to catch 5 14-inchers.
Okay.
I mean,
There may be some people out there that would pay for that information.
Yeah, they might be right.
So, but
I can draw X
anyway,
on the
we're
map.
looking to have a great tournament. Going to give away two Ranger boats and a lot of cash.
And I'm gonna say this: it wouldn't. I wouldn't be disappointed if I'm fishing for the metal boat.
Golly,
I'm
dude,
telling you,
yeah.
I might rather have that than I had the other one.
why would you not want to win an aluminum Ranger boat?
I'm
Exactly.
telling you, I would love to have one of those.
Great tournament, a lot of great guys, ladies and men, going to be down there fishing for it, and we're going to have a good time. Other than this, it's going to be hotter than the hinges on the gates of hell.
Yeah.
100 degrees.
How many women do you have, Mike? Is
Lisa Phipps.
Is it coming up every year on the women?
No, not really, but
really?
I wish it would.
Yeah.
Lisa Phipps. Well, you got one child. Ben Montgomery.
Mason McCormick.
Mason McCormick, yeah.
McCormick's fishing with his dad, Ben. Yep, youth. He's I don't know, but 12, 13 years old. A tremendous fisherman.
Yeah.
He
won big bass in the championship last year, didn't he?
Did.
Yeah,
Really?
and they won the little boat
yeah,
last year, and he and Mason caught big bass in the tournament.
Yeah.
Prediction to win Toledo Bend.
I'm. Somebody will show out.
Yeah.
But
Something less than 60.
Oh.
I'm thinking 36.
It's not going to surprise me if 17 pounds a day doesn't win.
Now, I'm thinking
Really?
18. I'm thinking somebody
Yeah.
may have a 20-pound
Wow.
bag
Yeah.
one day and a 60. And they're going to average about 18.
I'm going to say 36, 37.
That's what I would have said. 36. So
You other boys want to holler mercy yet? Because I'm telling you, Pete Daniels can catch that amount before breakfast. I'm just telling you. You know,
Gary's hoping anyway.
I'm gonna just stand there with a net.
Yeah, I would
Put
too.
a lot of pressure on Pete.
Hey, listen. Here in just a second, we're taking a little outdoor destination trip.
Yeah.
We're going to hang with Terry Stewart of Betty Rose's Barbecue in Abilene, Texas. Recently made an African safari trip. Might be something you've always wanted to go do. He'll give us a little bit of information about, costs and setting everything up, that kind of stuff. It's one of our newest features, and we'll kick it off here in just a minute. We are hooking up and tracking down 11:30, the Tiger.
Hook It Up and Track It Down show, proud to be associated with our fine sponsors, Toledo Town and Tackle, V&M Baits, Commercial Power Equipment, Daiwa Samurai Braid, and J&J Exterminating. Don't let pests invade your next event. Call J&J Exterminating today. Now back to the guys who appreciate a good exterminator, Gary, Steve, and Mike.
You know, we got a segment coming up to where we're going to talk about if you get bit by a snake or you get stung by a wasp or a jellyfish. So being outside this time of year you're going to get bit by something.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do is to be proactive and get rid of those critters around your house. Call J&J Exterminators. If you're tired of pesky critters invading your backyard party, call J&J. For over 50 years, J&J has been controlling the bugs. They now offer a mosquito control system for your house, and that is paramount if you spend much time out on the back porch.
Amen.
It's termite season, so let J&J inspect your house before it's too late, and the insurance won't pay for everything. Go to jnjexterminating.com to find a dealer near you.
Okay, it's the very first segment
that
we've ever outdoor destinations, and this is something that we're going to continue each week as we get more and more different places to be able to travel to, and some could be near, some could be extremely far, like maybe an African safari trip. Terry Stewart of Betty Rose's Barbecue in Abilene, Texas, on the phone with us. And Terry, how long ago did you make this African safari?
Well, we had the opportunity to go. It was September 16, so it'll be 2 years coming up.
Okay,
2 months from now.
So 2 years ago, did you just get the itch to go to Africa, or was this something that fell in your lap? I mean, how long did it take in the preparation?
You bought the trip at a banquet or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what he's going to tell us.
Well, it had been, a lifelong dream for the opportunity to go to Africa. And, so it's kind of a combination of both. My wife's cousin had won the trip at a Safari Club International banquet in the Metroplex, and where he was the high bidder, and just some circumstances, life kind of got in the way, and him and his buddy that he was going to go with, neither one of them were able to go, so he contacted me, and I in turn got with my business partner here at the barbecue place, and he as well was always wanted to go to Africa, and so we kind of looked at each other and said, you know what, we ought to try to do this. And so we kind of put our heads together and talked to JD some more, the guy that was trying to sell the trip just to recoup some of his money. And so we made it work out, and so we went. It was a 9-day safari, most memorable hunting trip I've probably ever taken in my life.
Now, Terry, what was you zeroed in on? Any certain game you were trying to hunt for?
Well, Kyle and I both knew we each wanted a kudu, which everything we were hunting was plains game. You get into your dangerous game, your Cape Buffalo and stuff like that. That's where you're talking real money. So anyway, everything we were looking for was plains game, and that's what the package that this hunt was for. Because in that package were 5 plains game animals, and going off the top of my head, in that 5, there was a blue wildebeest, black wildebeest, red hartebeest, an impala, and a warthog. Well, one thing about it over there is there's no shortage of you run out of bullets before you run out of animals to hunt.
Yeah.
So, and they will let you. We told them the first day we were out that we knew we had this package that had these animals in it, but we were also opportunists, and if something like a world class animal that we would be up for discussion of taking something that wasn't on that list, which they were fine with. I mean, they'll, as long as you want to keep writing checks, they'll keep letting you shoot stuff. So,
they'll take a check.
Yeah, they'll take a check.
Yeah. We'll just pay this thing off if they'll take a check.
Yeah. So, give us a little bit of upfront information on this. How long did it take in preparation? And actually, what was the cost? What did it cost?
Well, kind of some of the upfront preparations. There's several different forms you have to fill out. Of course, you have to have your passport. You have to have a form if you're taking your own firearm, to get that into South Africa, which is where we hunted, was South Africa. So you have to get all that paperwork, and you have to. So you need to, if you're going to talk about doing it and you've never done it before, you need to start. I would say, 4, 5, 6 months in advance, just to know what you're looking at.
Terry, is it worth the hassle to take your own firearm? I mean, or are you better?
Well,
that can be a hassle.
If and when I do get to go back, which I definitely want to go back, I will probably not take my own firearm. Just for that reason, it is a little bit of a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
I live out here in Abilene, so we had to, because you have to go to a international airport for the fire ATF, and where they have to sign off on one of the forms. So we went out to Midland, which that's 2.5 hour one-way trip out here. But so it's a little bit of a hassle. But like I said, Steve, I don't know that next time if I go, when I go, I probably will not. I'll just use the PH's firearm. It's just a lot easier and less hassle.
And you were telling
okay, let's talk money.
Yeah.
What did it cost?
Oh no, stop. Terry, is your wife listening?
Well, no, she's not listening.
Okay, go ahead. What was the bottom dollar?
She's got her last day at school. Yeah. So, but that is a very good question. No, she's not listening. Because the price would definitely be different.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, up front, the package.
Okay, hold on, Terry. Before you answer this, I want these guys guess how much you think a trip to Africa would cost on a safari trip.
I would figure 15 to 20 grand.
Okay.
A 9-day hunt for plains animals and not the dangerous stuff he was talking about, I'm going to say 9,000.
Yeah, I'd have said around 15 myself. Go ahead, Terry.
Okay.
Surprises.
Well, it's kind of the gift that keeps on giving, because like I said, you've got that upfront cost because of all the forms that you've got to, your firearm deal, that costs some money. But anyway, you get into your actual, when you're there and the animals that you're hunting, if you do it, for lack of a better word, a la carte, and, say a kudu, which, if a lot of people know what that is when I say that, but they are a big, it's probably 5-6 foot at the shoulder. So, they're like a elk.
Yeah.
And their spiraled horns are anywhere. A great one is up in the 60-inch category. So you shoot a 48 to 50-something inch kudu. It's a big, big animal. So just that animal alone is probably $3,500 to $4,000. But on these package deals that so many of the outfitters are doing, you can do a 5-animal package, and you're looking at, $5,000 to $7,000, somewhere in there.
Okay, so wait a minute. You got 5 to 7 in the hunting. Does that include your lodging?
That includes your lodging.
Okay, does it include your airfare?
Does not include your airfare.
Okay, what about?
Depends on when you go.
What about permits and things of that nature?
It includes any hunting permits, because they tried to play a joke on me while we were over there because I shot a black wildebeest, and so when they were filling out this form, and I was asking the PH what that was, and he said, "Oh, they didn't tell you that tag is $2,000." I said, "Well, that's going to be on y'all because nobody told me before I wasn't serious about that." That was included. But anyway, so you can do now. Like I said, no, that doesn't include the airfare. Depends on when you go. Airfare from DFW to Johannesburg is around $1,200 to $1,500. It's about a 16-hour flight.
So it's all said and done. You're probably talking $8,000, right, Terry? I mean, depending on what you kill.
Yeah, I mean, for just the hunting part, yeah, you can do it for $6,000 to $8,000. Your meals are included, your lodging's included.
How were the meals? Was it good food?
The meals were fantastic. We ate.
Did you eat any of that kudu?
We not the particular one I shot, but we did eat kudu. We actually ate Cape buffalo. It was one. It was like the back strap, and it melted in your mouth. It was amazing.
Now Terry was telling me too how they don't waste anything. The natives over there actually take possession of a lot of the stuff they kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't bring the meat back, so it's not consumed in camp.
What about for your mount for taxidermy?
Well, you can bring back the hide. You can't bring it back when you come, but the hide, the horns, that stuff is all. They keep it there. They take care of what they call the dipping and the shipping. So it's dipped. Take care of any of the insects and stuff like that. So you have that charge, which it's not outrageous. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was in the hundreds of dollars. It wasn't, it wasn't exorbitant amount. But you like that big word, Steve, exorbitant?
Yeah, buddy.
I'm
we
impressed.
were all impressed.
That's a Mount Pleasant education.
I'm having to Google it right now.
Hey Terry, we got about a minute left. Let's just just cut to the chase. You probably did this hunt, and it's although it sounds like a lot of money, I'm going to guess you probably spent $12,000-14,000 on this hunt, everything included.
Yeah, by the time you get back and you're paid for your hunt, and then you got your taxidermy work when you get home, you're looking at $12,000 to $15,000.
So and 12,
so that's all that's between you and a dream.
That's it. That's it. Maybe a once in a lifetime thing that not a fraction of a percent of people that will ever get to do.
Wow. Yeah. Who was the outfitter, before we get off, who was the outfitter that you used for this one? Because we're assuming that you would recommend this game.
Well, the guy that I would use going back, his name is Tavi Fregosa, and he does his own outfit. He's his own outfitter, works for himself. Amazing guy. If anybody's interested, you can go to Tavi, Tavi, Fregosa, FRAGOSO.com. Look him up. He would show you a trip of a lifetime, I guarantee you.
Thank you so much, Terry. We really appreciate
Congratulations.
that. This sounds awesome.
Yeah, I've only got about another 4 or 5 months to wait on my mount. So they told us it'd be 2 years by the time you pull the trigger so you can hang it on the wall.
Wow.
Send me pictures when you get that. We'll post it on our website.
All right, man.
All right,
Great
Terry.
talking to you.
Terry Stewart, if you've ever thought about making that African safari, that might be only $14,000 away from a reality. Make it happen. We're hooking up and tracking down 11:30, the Tiger.
Looking for valuable information that'll make you a better hunter, fisherman, or just a better person? Check out our website at HUTDshow.com. Loaded with essential information you need to make you a better outdoorsman. This segment presented by K2 Coolers, Nichols Department Stores, Groove Fishing, Lake Fork Marina, and Toledo Fiberglass, home of the Gorilla Hole and your Minn Kota headquarters for the Arklatex. For all your fiberglass repair needs, turn to Toledo Fiberglass. Once again, here's Steve, Gary, and Mike.
And our next guest is going to be Johnny Geist, who guides out of Lake Fork Marina. For over 30 years, they are a full-service resort marina. Great accommodations from full-size hotel rooms to cabins and a scenic RV park overlooking Lake Fork. Internet, guest laundry, and great restaurant in Tiffany's. Tackle store with all the top-name brands. Go to lakeforkmarina.com to learn more about the #1 resort on Lake Fork.
On the way here at 11:45, we get a little information for you when you get stung or bitten while you're in the outdoors, how to handle that. Also, straight up 12 noon, Randy Devers is going to be on with us. He is going to give us a preview of how he thinks Cross Lake is going to fish this week for the BFL All-American that's going on at Cross Lake. Right now, Johnny Geist is on Lake Fork. Are you fishing today?
Yes, sir. I'm blowing in the wind today, but we're on the water.
Where are the fish on Lake Fork right now? Are you still finding fish up shallow and out deep, or are they starting to make that move?
Oh, they've already made the move. We jumped up with to hot days in May. It was just unbelievable. The water temperature hit 90 degrees yesterday, so they moved out on where they need to be right now.
Well, I see you're on the Bell Hump. Are you still on Bell Hump, Johnny?
Yeah, it was the day we started. We had 13 good bass yesterday, up to 7 pounds, and the first one we caught was 8-11. So
wow.
we had a good one start, and we only caught one more, and we ended up about 18, 20 right now, and it's just campers. Hadn't even seen a sand bass on the graph, and we've been catching tons of them. So,
are you catching fish on the live brim yet?
yeah, that started 3 or 4 days ago, and you can drop one down through there. They're chomping.
Wow.
There's still some fish in transition, though. I mean, you can go in and fish some drop shot fish, 12 foot, 10 or 12 foot, and shallow fish on a fluke. But the good ones are all out. They're kind of postponed. But it's starting. I mean, there's some good fish caught on a 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce football jig, and a big V&M shaky head worm, the big worm they make. So, a lot of the guys are catching them.
You know what?
Afternoon bite, a little better.
Best advice you've ever given me, you actually gave on this show 2 weeks ago. And that was using 12-pound line on that Yellow Magic. It is amazing on that little one what that 12-pound line will make it do.
Yeah.
Yep. You cut that line down when you can do it. You can't fish lily pad stems in it, full lily pad. They'll test you up on that. But you can fish open water, you get more bites on it.
Yep. Now, Johnny, the deep water fish right now. How many of your people that go out with you say, I really don't want to use live bait? 'Cause I've got a brother. He went out with us, and we talked about making another trip with you, and he's like, I don't know about the live bait. I said, what? You didn't like that? I said, dude, man, I'd rather do that. I know I'm going to catch fish. How many guys say, I'd rather use artificial than live bait? That's my question.
Most everybody called me. They've got the word, and that's they come to catch the big one. So most everybody comes wanting to do that.
Yeah.
I don't just always do that. I mean, I'm throwing a swim jig to catch a white bass, and I've caught several big fish on it. So that's our search bait. We'll use the swim bait fishing in 25, 30 foot of water, and we catch a bass too. Then we'll settle in there and catch a bunch of them on big ones on the brim.
When you're that deep, is it just throw it out there, try to count it down, to 20 or so, and then start a slow retrieve, or are you catching them up high in the water column?
Well, every day is uniquely different. I mean, I use a 3/4 ounce head and let it go to the bottom, and trying to trigger the big white bass bite. And then some days you want to wind it fast as you can, just under the surface like a swim bait. We caught them on Monticello the other day. They were schooling, and you throw that heavy jig swim bait out and start reeling real quick like a spinner bait, and they'd hit it, and it's probably down 4 or 5 foot. But mainly I'm throwing out, letting it go to the bottom, and just starting to let it swim about a foot off the bottom and bump the bottom every once in a while. And when it stops it and it don't come, it's usually one of those big bass, and she's going to come straight to surface and jump. So it's a lot of fun to catch.
Hey, Johnny, our United Rentals question of the day, and we've already talked about this between the three of us, and I wanted to ask you, what is the most influential factor when it comes to summertime fishing? Is it the wind, cloud cover, or is it the time of day? What if Johnny Geis has got to pick one thing that determines whether he's going to have a good day or not? Which one of those three is it?
Well, I'm on probably the summertime. I'm gonna pick the solar tables, and that's why I'm not so disappointed with only 2 bites this morning. 12:50 to 3:50 today. They're supposed to bite full moon tonight, and we're gonna catch some fish this afternoon. But that's what triggers them. And Steve, y'all been there when I had my alarm go off, and all of a sudden the fish.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But you know what? Now, something occurred to me while you were answering that, Johnny. Because you're talking about fighting the wind today. If that wind's howling 25, 30 miles an hour, you can't really fish much. So it would kind of limit your ability to stay out there on some of those humps out there in the open water.
It does. I mean, I'm a little worried where we're going to be able to find a place enough to, when the trolling motor jumps out of the water, that's not a lot of fun, and you can't present your bait right. You're just moving too much. But, that's part of what we're going to be faced with. I've got a few places we can tuck in and still be in that good zone. But the second thing, Mike, after the solar tables, obviously, is that you get a little cloud cover, and that's always better. I'm looking out the window at Oak Ridge right now. We're having lunch, and there's not a cloud in the sky. The wind, white sheep are jumping all over the lake. The white caps are out there.
White sheep.
Wow.
I never heard that before. White sheep.
I bet you use it.
I got to remember that.
You're going to steal it, yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
I never heard Johnny Geis say that. That was mine. I only took it from me.
White sheep.
Johnny, when you're doing the live bait deal, do you ever have anybody that says, "Look, I'll wait an hour, pick me up at 7:30 instead of 6:30. I don't want to go out and catch the brim. I want to sleep in." Or do most of the people want that to be part of their trip?
No, they really don't know where to get them. And when they show up, I give them a little baby spinning rod, and I said, "Hold it over the dock right there and hand me around."
Wait for a big one.
They quickly get into it, though. We probably caught 20 or 30 pretty easy this morning. I already had some when they showed up at 7:30, but we're going to go back and freshen up a little bit, and it won't take 15 minutes after midday. They just really bite good around the brush piles under the pier.
Well, it's all about entertaining them, isn't it, Johnny?
Oh, sure.
Oh, it is. It's a lot of fun. It's part of it, and the fresher, the better the brim are, the more bites you get in there.
Yeah.
So, Johnny,
we're going.
When you start that morning catching the brim, and sometimes you work in a little bit of white bass catches, and then the next thing would be, obviously your goal is to catch that person's biggest fish. When someone calls you, do they realize they're going to get all of that in one day when they're out on the water with Johnny Geis?
I'll tell them that right when they get there. First thing they do, what's your personal best? And yesterday, 2 of them had 3 to 5 pounders, and they broke it twice.
Wow!
And the other guy had an 8 something. I said that'll be a little bit of a challenge, and he caught the biggest one about 7 pounds. But this morning, young man's biggest one was 4 pounds. They're from Monroe, and Noah Spillers, and he raises up 8 pounds 11 ounces, so almost 5 pound fish.
So with Johnny Geis this time of year, it's not unusual. I mean, you still go out there and have a bad day. Anybody can, but it's not unusual for somebody to go with Johnny this time of year and catch 15 to 20 fish that might average 4 to 6 pounds apiece.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And maybe
that's not normal. And if it's not that, I can't be a less than stellar day. We're sitting on 2 right now, so we're probably going to not have a great day, but. We ought to have 8 or 10 fish for the day.
And you with that you may possibly you find them may have 20 or 30 big sand bass.
Oh yeah,
yep.
And you're probably going to catch a couple of catfish.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cutting the head off a dead together and throwing it out, and you don't know what you're going to catch. I mean, I caught a bass up to 10 pounds last year on a old brim head, thinking I was trying to clean the catfish out of the spot. So
the first trip that Graff and I made with Johnny. Graff, you caught one weighed almost 9, didn't you?
863 is my biggest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he catches this fish. And wait a minute. The big fish were biting so good that day.
Oh, God.
You were disappointed when it's just a 6-pounder.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a
We
distant
caught
one.
32 fish that day.
And I mean, every one of them was between 6 and 8 pounds.
Exactly. I was like, good
it was,
God.
oh, it's just another 6.
That's the best trip I've ever had, Blue Johnny.
Is that awesome or what? Johnny, I know there is somebody right now got to get them some of that. They need to get into the boat with Johnny Guys. We got to tell them how to make that happen.
All right, that's real easy. Just call me at 972-800-3882. Area code's 972-800-3882. We'll do my Facebook page every night. Going to post a big picture today, and got a new website, lakeforkbigfish.com. We can do there. But hey, it was a late start this year because it was a cold April, but it's heated up now, and these old big ones every day they seem to be getting a few more and more showing up on the good structured points. So good time to come.
Make it happen. Give him a ring. Johnny Guys, check that website, lakeforkbigfish.com. And, of course, like he said, on his Facebook page, constantly updated with those big old fish. And, the only way you get to take those pictures is if you're catching them.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the proof's in the pudding. Johnny Guys, thank you, brother. We're looking forward to coming seeing you again this year.
All right, look forward to it. Thanks.
We are hooking up and tracking down. We're going to find out what to do when you get stung or bitten while you're in the outdoors. That's next. Hooking up and tracking down, 11:30, The Tiger.
Have you been to our Facebook page yet? Go to Hook It Up and Tracking Down Show on Facebook for outdoors news, videos, and great product giveaways. This segment presented by Cypress Knee Outdoors, Toledo Bend guide Daryl Gleason, and United Rentals. The only place to get all the equipment you'll need to complete your next project. Go to UnitedRentals.com to learn more.
Do you realize there's still $500,000 swimming around in Toledo Bend and Lake Fork?
Exactly.
Unreal. $400,000 just swimming around in Toledo Bend. There's another $100,000 swimming around in Lake Fork. BassCashBash.com. Can I remind? I'm not giving out information to all of our boss competitors this weekend if I tell them that they need to sign up for this.
No,
okay.
no, let's not tell them how to catch fish.
Yeah.
Just tell them how to make money.
I just want to make sure,
Yeah.
$50.
$50.
$50 entry fee. BassCashBash.com. You're going to be there this weekend anyway. And you know what? I think you can actually register in person. If you don't want to go online, you can register, I think, at Toledo Town and Tackle. I believe you can register there. That is one of the official weigh-in points for the BassCashBash.com. Catch a tagged fish. What is it, like $1,500?
Yeah,
You know,
1,000
and
if you're wearing the shirt, the bonus T-shirt, another 500.
Yeah, and if you catch one that's 10 pounds or greater on Toledo Bend, immediate check, boom, pay the man. And you never know. It could happen on any cast. Same thing going on Lake Fork. As a matter of fact, on Lake Fork, I want to say they have the Big Bass of the Month prize that they do. It doesn't necessarily have to be that that you caught a tagged fish, which there are tagged fish swimming around in Lake Fork. But if you catch the biggest bass of the month, obviously and over, well, you never know.
No, you don't know.
You don't. You know, they might go a month without an over.
Yep, that's exactly right.
I mean, things could happen, especially in as things heat up.
A quick update: only 9 anglers caught bass cash bass fish this past week.
Yeah,
only 1 was registered.
1 out of 9. But see, the odds are getting better.
Oh yeah,
because they want to give away this money now. And I will tell you that when you enter, I saw somebody last week or the week before.
So that's 8 people lost $1,000.
Yeah.
I want to say it was last week or week before. Somebody caught a fish that was tagged last year.
Yeah,
and they give you something for that.
A Yeti cooler, I believe, is what it was.
Right.
It was unreal.
I thought it was a pickup truck.
Yeah, P.D. Vincent says, yeah, that's coming out of the Mike Eccles account right there. BassCashBash.com. You still got until June 30th on Lake Fork and all the way to Labor Day, September 3rd on Toledo Bend, Labor Day weekend. So take advantage of that. And Mike's got some info for us. You get stung, you get bitten while you're in the outdoors. Here's what you need to do.
Well, here's what made me think of this. 29 years on the fire department, first thing we had to do was learn CPR.
Yeah.
Well, the regulations are set up by the American Heart Association. About every 2 years, they changed it. They came out with a better way. And
to
about
do CPR?
Yeah. And about every 10 years, they went back to one of the things to the way they taught you 8 years ago. Yeah, and I finally came to the conclusion the only way the American Heart Association stay in business is to keep changing stuff where they have to keep being in charge.
There you go.
But it made me think about the first aid home remedies or the immediate treatment for snake bite.
Yeah.
Because we've heard that for so many years.
Yeah.
And I remember my mother having a first aid kit with a snake bite kit in it that had a scalpel and a little pump syringe.
Yeah.
With different attachments to it, round for big areas, little small attachments in case you got big
I've heard
fingers.
that's the worst thing you could possibly do. Is cut.
Between your fingers or toes where you do that. And the only thing I ever got out of it when I was about 14 or 15, I realized you could use one end of that, put it on your neck, and make it look like you got a hickey if you didn't have a girlfriend. so
your buddies you thought you were big with your buddies.
If you were that desperate, which I never was.
Yeah.
But here's what they recommend right now, and this came from like the Mayo Clinic. If to call 911 if there's a chance that the snake is venomous, if the person is having difficulty breathing, or if they lose consciousness, call 911 right away. I'll always do that. If you know that the snake is not venomous, then you treat it as a puncture wound. Because they're not poisonous. But I'm going to go and tell you that I know a lot of the snakes that are not venomous, their mouth is still toxic.
Yeah.
So
they will cause some of that flesh to rot.
So you need to treat it like a bad rusty nail. Note the snake's appearance. Be ready to describe the snake to emergency staff and protect the person. I don't know why they had to put that in there. Everybody's smart enough to get the hell away from the snake after he bites you. If you're
He's
waiting,
in my pocket. I brought him.
While waiting for medical help, you move the person beyond the striking distance of the snake, which wouldn't matter because I'm going to cut its head off.
Exactly.
Have the person lie down with the wound below the heart. You want to keep the heart above the wound. If you get bit on the hand, put your hand down below your heart. Don't lay down flat if you got bit on the foot or something, and elevate the leg because that causes the venom and stuff to go towards the heart. You don't want to do that. So keep the bite below the heart. Keep the person calm and at rest, remaining as still as possible to keep the venom from spreading. If you get excited, get your blood pressure up, your heart's going to beat faster, and it's going to cause the venom to spread a little bit faster.
I would love to say that
you just got bit by a rattlesnake. But
be
don't
calm.
Be calm.
Yeah, I would love to say that I was that in control of
Yeah.
my breathing.
And my pant,
Yeah.
my underwear. Let's see. Cover the wound with a loose, sterile bandage. Remove any jewelry from the area. If you get bit on the hand,
yeah.
something like that,
Immediately get that ring
the
off.
rings and
Swelling,
watches off.
yeah.
Yeah, because you may not be able to get them off in just a little bit. And if you get bit on the foot or the leg, remove the shoes. Do not cut the wound.
Yeah,
Do not attempt to suck the venom out.
yeah.
Do not apply a tourniquet, ice, or water, because what ice does is it stops everything. It will a tourniquet will stop everything. It stops the venom is going to spread from the wound. You don't want to make it spread fast, but you don't want it to restrict it to that area because it keeps all the poison there, and it can cause way more tissue damage.
So you're better off letting it disperse throughout.
Oh yeah, the way it's supposed to.
Right.
You don't want to restrict it to that area and keep it all right there, like on your hand, because it can cause so much more damage. Do not. I don't agree with this. Do not give the person alcohol or caffeinated water or any medication. You know.
Okay, now tell me this. This person has just gotten bit by a snake, and they do go into some type of shock,
Anaphylactic
shock, and they've stopped breathing or something along those lines. As a fireman, did you ever treat a snake bite?
You know, I don't think that I ever did.
Okay.
I know 2 or 3 people that have been bitten by snakes.
Yeah.
Do you?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody I know that's been bitten by a snake was bit by a copperhead.
Yeah. This guy was bitten by a water moccasin, and the gospel truth, he had just caught about a 6.5 pound bass and was taking the bass off the hook, and that bass had just eaten a snake and stuck his thumb in there, and that snake bit him on the thumb.
Really?
Yes. The bass had swallowed the snake, and evidently, tail first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that snake was right there and bit him. And it was actually in the newspaper.
Damn, I'll quit lipping my
Now,
fish.
this is more apt to happen this time of year. Wasp stings. You know, the most severe allergic reaction to a wasp sting is referred to as anaphylaxis.
Okay, hang on, because this is where I was going. When someone goes into anaphylactic shock, they've stopped. What do you do then?
Symptoms for severe anaphylactic reaction to wasp stings include severe swelling of the face, lips, and the throat, hives or itching in areas not affected by the sting, difficulty breathing such as wheezing or dizziness, and a drop of blood pressure. Most people that have are subject to anaphylactic shock carry the EpiPens.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where they just give themselves a shot with the
But this is
the
something you can
antidote.
also develop this later in life.
Or you can have it real young in life and not have it later on.
Yeah.
But most people that do it, they carry the EpiPens.
Right. But
So,
let's just say this is the first time for somebody.
Then if their throat, if they have difficulty breathing and they quit breathing, you're going to have to do respirations on them. It doesn't mean that their heart's going to stop. You may have to do assisted breathing for them.
Okay.
What about tracheotomy? Would you have to maybe go that route?
Yeah.
No, you're not going to
okay.
cut somebody's throat,
No,
Raph. You've
as a
already
matter of
If they
fact-
can't breathe,
matter of
you got to
fact-
get air into the
As a
airway.
matter of fact, lay down on the table, Steve. I'm going to show somebody how to do that with an ink pen.
Yeah.
Well, I will
Sandra Bullock did it.
I have never done that, and I've never seen it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that being, one of the prescribed.
No,
Remedies.
no doctor will ever tell you to perform a tracheotomy.
Right.
They're just not going to tell you.
So this
Rush
person
them to
going,
the
but
hospital.
now assisted breathing, is that where you're just doing chest compressions,
no,
or are you
no.
actually doing mouth
No.
to mouth?
Assisted breathing is when you're doing mouth to mouth. You're
Okay.
doing the respirations. You're not doing the compressions.
Okay.
Because just because they can't breathe because their throat is swollen
Okay.
shut. And it's not because their heart stopped.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to, anytime you do CPR, just because somebody falls over, you don't jump down and start pumping on their heart.
Right.
You have to establish that their heart is not beating before you do
Right.
compression.
I got you.
Because you're going to wind up doing lots of damage.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and the other thing on the wasps is that they and bees, wasps sting multiple times or can sting multiple times. Bees sting once. When that bee stings, the stinger stays in you.
Right.
Right.
And they fly away and it pulls the core out of their butt. So
And they die.
yeah, but when the stinger stays in there, it will continue off of a bee,
Yeah.
to inject their poison. So you've got to get the stinger out. Do not grab it with a pair of tweezers.
Tobacco.
Because when you squeeze it,
It's got a little bulb on it.
Yeah, when you squeeze it, you're going to push more of the poison in there.
Oh, wow.
So wipe it with a towel or take like a credit card or something. Yeah, I'm going to pull a credit card out. Just my luck, the
We
stinger
always
would
put
reject
tobacco.
my
We always
card.
put tobacco on there,
Yeah.
and it would pull it out.
Well, I don't know if it pulls it out or not. I've never used the tobacco, but I
It-
tell you
it
what,
works for
I
us.
tell you what, one of the home remedies that will work with a wasp sting is a penny. You take a penny and hold it on the sting for 3 or 4 minutes, and it will reduce the pain. Something in the copper.
If you used $1, wouldn't it work faster?
Sure,
Okay.
it will now that Trump's
What?
in.
Okay.
Oh, and the last one is a jellyfish.
Yes.
What have you always heard about jellyfish?
Pee on it.
Yes.
Ammonia.
Yeah, they said that was dreamed up with some guy that couldn't get a date with a girl, and he was really wanting to pee on her anyway. It has absolutely nothing to do.
It was his ex-wife.
Wash it off with salt water.
Really?
Wash it off with salt water. If there's any tentacles and stuff that broke off, wipe it off with a towel. Vinegar. Vinegar is what you use on a jellyfish sting.
And my brother and them fish in the Gulf all the time, and they said, whatever you do not rub it.
Yeah.
That is the last thing,
Yeah.
because it will spread immediately.
Oh, my God.
That's
like
do
bull
not rub
nettle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You ever gotten into bull nettle?
Yes, I grew
Dude.
up.
I saw that show. Kevin Costner was in it. That's Bull Durham. I'm sorry.
Bull Durham, yeah.
Hey, Randy Devers is going to be on the show with us here in a minute. He is practicing right now on Cross Lake. The FLW All-American competition starts tomorrow. And Randy's going to give us a little insight as to what he's thinking it's going to take to win, and maybe we're going to maybe we'll get an idea as to what he thinks our local guys, how they will fare besides himself. That's next. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger.
That's right, here comes one more hour of outdoor news and hot topics here on the greatest outdoor show ever, the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show. This segment presented by the Red River Waterway Commission, Stingray Line Cutter, Despino and Jim's Big South Tire, and Commercial Power Equipment. For all your lawn care needs, see the experts at Commercial Power Equipment, located at 750 Bercoons in Shreveport. Take it away, guys.
The FLW All-American going on. Actually, today's the final practice day.
Yep.
And competition will start tomorrow, run through Saturday. Weigh-ins each day Going to be at Bass Pro Shops. We've got 3 local anglers that have qualified for this, which is really kind of cool because these guys competed all over the South and I guess you'd say America.
Toledo being in Sam Rayburn. Yeah. Oh, this the overall field.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. This is the entire country.
And we've got 3 different anglers that are going to be right here. They qualified on all these other lakes to come right back home and fish Cross Lake, which is actually kind of a neat deal because if one of them were to win this, it'd be right here in front of the home crowd. And Randy Devers from Blanchard, by God, Louisiana, my
Blanchard
hometown,
boy,
That's it.
is one of those guys. And is it kind of weird practicing for a national championship on water that you grew up on?
I guess it makes it extra special, I guess would be the word for it. When I qualified, I was pumped just to make it to the All-American, but it's actually extra special to be right here on home water. And my practice went pretty good before the off limits, and I felt like, but I started doing some different things than just the normal routine, so I felt kind of good about that. But yeah, that's kind of how it is.
Well, Randy, let me ask you a question. This is an age-old question when you have a local angler in a big tournament, and this not just apply to you, but it's going to apply to Randy Despino and Nick LeBrun. And I'm going to go on record saying this may be the first time in fishing history that it's not going to shock me. I don't know how much money I'd put on it. Not going to shock me if we don't have first, second, and third in these 3 people.
Yeah.
I'd have never dreamed that was going to happen. But here's the question: how do you beat the hometown home lake syndrome where you're fishing history, you're fishing you're going to have to do that. I mean, you can't live off memories in any tournament, especially on Cross Lake.
Correct, and that's what I told myself going into practice, that I was going to. And basically, what I did, I just took about 2.5 to 3 weeks, and I think I missed 3 days. And I gave it my all. I put everything else aside, and I said, you know what? I'm going to look at the lake like I was out of town. And I said, I've got the time, and I covered the entire lake. I mean, stuff I didn't care if I've caught them there before or haven't caught them. And that's kind of how I feel like, to be honest with you. I mean, I found stuff that I've never in my life knew was out here. I can say that. And that's, I think that's kind of, maybe that answers your question there. I just looked at it a little bit different and actually started throwing, different baits and stuff of that nature as well.
Randy, did you find that a lot of the places that you've caught fish before, still, even though you'd looked at everything with brand new eyes, did you find that the places that you had traditionally fished before still wound up being some of the better places?
Yes, sir. Yeah, local knowledge, I will say this. I kept an open mind about it, but, I feel like maybe local knowledge, not just for myself, but for the other guys also. I think some of that, could come into play for us because just knowing where fish historically have been and stuff this time of year, it's Cross Lake's not that big. So then that's how I was able to cover the whole thing. But yes, some of your typical spots, they're still, in my game plan.
Another advantage you've got, Randy, is the fact that some of the best anglers that I know I've ever competed against are actually from right here in our neck of the woods. So if anybody was going to figure something out on Cross Lake, these guys that we fish against here in this area would have probably already figured it out by now. So that being said,
I don't know. There's not a lot of people drop shotting out in the middle of the lake looking for cross bio out there.
I don't know. You might be surprised, but anyway,
if somebody's got a jigging spoon tied on, watch that guy.
Yeah,
this is definitely a tournament, Randy. In my opinion, somebody can come from the outside and actually win this event, and it not surprise me simply because they're so open-minded, and that's the thing about coming to Cross Lake.
Nope, not going to happen.
I'll be shocked. It won't surprise me if it happens.
Randy, what will it take to win, Randy?
Reason I say that it's not going to happen is because when that happens, somebody stumbles up on a hole someplace that just nobody fixed. There are no holes on Cross Lake.
Yeah.
They aren't.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that.
There's not a drop off out in the middle of that lake that nobody's ever fished.
Right.
There's not one out there. Period.
Yeah.
So
what will it take to win? What's your goal?
My prediction is
between 45 to 50. I think will win. That possibly may be a little low, but with this being a 3-day event, I believe 45 to 50 will win it.
What's
but
the
I also think to make the top 10, it'll be probably closer to 27 to 28 to make top 10. But you're gonna have to catch them the last day also.
So the lake's fishing pretty tough right now.
No,
yeah,
it's tough.
Well, that's not really that tough.
You go to Cross Lake and catch 15 pounds a day 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
That's his prediction. That don't mean that's actually what it's doing.
No, all right, then what's the biggest sack of the tournament?
Well, that's hard to call because if somebody catches a 7-8 pounder, that's kind of a game changer. But I think you'll probably see. I may be a little high. I think you may see 18, 19 pound bag tomorrow.
Wow!
If they catch a big one.
You sound just like Randy Despino. That's exactly what he said.
Exactly. I'll tell you another thing too. That in this particular event, anybody can go out there on any given day. Scouting for Cross Lake is almost a waste of time. Is that right, Randy?
Yeah, it's just a shallow fishery, and so you have to figure out where they're at, and have enough. That's the deal with this tournament. With it being a 3-day event, is where it's going to come in. I mean, a 1-day tournament, somebody has 18, 19, something like that. That'd be great, but you got to try to back it up somehow and not just completely stumble.
So what's your plan? Momentum. Are you going to try to stick to 1 or 2 areas, or are you planning to run all over the lake?
I'm probably going to hunker down in a few areas, just kind of my game plan right now. And, if it works out, I'm never going to say exactly what I'm going to do. I have to keep that open-minded, too. If they don't start biting or the weather changes for some reason, we'll adjust then. But I've kind of got spots from one end of the lake to the other, and I know where I want to fish.
Is the lake going to fish small?
Target weight.
Is it going to fish small? Is it going to fish small?
It is it's going to fish a little smaller now than what I thought it was going to, just because the lake has dropped.
Yeah.
In the 10-day off limits, it's drastically dropped.
Yeah.
Put it that way. When you're dealing with 5 foot of water and you lose a foot or so, that's a pretty good bit.
Right.
What is what's the weigh-in going to be like in your estimation? For anybody that might just want to go see any one of the 3 weigh-ins at Bass Pro Shop, do you think that this will be as big a zoo as what FLW can muster?
Yeah, this is a huge deal. Besides like the Classic or the Cup, something like that. This for our area, this is a big event. We went to the meeting last night, the rules meeting, and FLW really did it up good last night, and explained everything. And it was a pretty big deal. I was pretty pumped when I walked out of there.
So if for spectators wanting to watch the weigh-in is going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday each day at Bass Pro Shop out in the parking lot. That's a nice shady spot.
Bring your umbrella.
Yeah, but you have what 45 boats with a pro and a co-angler in it. Is that correct?
49.
49. Okay. Woo.
Yes.
50 boats. So every boat will have a boater and a co-angler in it. So they weigh in at is this everything a drive-through weigh-in?
Well, actually, we're going to pull in, and they're going to unhook the boats, and they're going to shuttle us up to the stage in golf carts.
Okay,
from my understanding.
That's going to be the first 2 days. The last day will probably be a drive-through.
The last
because you only got 10 boats then.
Different because you only got 10.
So what time do we need to be out there to watch Randy Devers, Nick LeBrun, and Randy Despino raise their hand?
Well, takeoff is at 7 o'clock from the American Legion every day, and then
7?
We leave at 7 o'clock.
God, I'm ready to go back to bed by 7.
Yeah, buddy.
They're missing an early bite. You can miss an early bite there.
I'm eating pizza, drinking beer by then.
It's a little early bite, but it's the same for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
that's it. But 7 o'clock is takeoff. First flight is due in at 3 o'clock. Second flight is due in at 3:30. And then we'll proceed straight to, once we get loaded up, to Bass Pro, and weigh-in starts at 4 at Bass Pro.
Are you glad or disappointed because, the National Collegiate Championship is also going on right now? Do you wish you were on Red River, or are you tickled you're on Cross
I can
Lake?
answer that.
No, I'd rather be on Cross Lake.
There we go. Okay.
Of course, if I had my pick, I'd rather be on Caddo.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
really.
I can't imagine why.
But out of the two.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask you how you're fishing or what you're fishing or anything along those lines.
Please
What I will ask you, though, is your co-angler going to have anything to throw at?
Yeah, he will. Actually, my day one partner is with me today. He's a real nice guy, and we've had some bites today.
Okay.
And he's had a few behind me.
Okay.
So he will have adamant shot.
But now he will not fish with you tomorrow, right? It'll be somebody different
No, he
every
will
day.
fish with me
It's a
tomorrow.
day
Oh, he
one
will.
Day one
Okay, I
partner.
thought you were
Yeah,
calling
he's
day one the practice day.
No. I'm sorry. Today's practice. day is
Okay,
day one
well,
with the
okay.
same guy.
I think that's kind of neat because there is an issue. There is an issue with the boaters having a co-angler that comes in and then going and getting a boat with another boater the next day and sharing the information.
Sure.
At least this way, your co-angler for practice is going to be with you. You don't have to worry about him.
Correct.
So I think that's a good deal. Real good.
Now, I
move.
will say this: FLW is a stickler on that rule, aren't they, Randy?
Yes.
About sharing
That's
information. If
correct.
you got a 2-day event and
Mm-hmm.
FLW finds out you took a guy from day one to his fish, you'll be disqualified immediately.
Oh, wow.
They don't play.
Wow.
They don't
Yeah, and they
listen.
went over that last night in the rules meeting and
Yeah.
all. And I feel like all the guys would respect that also, but still, I do like your practice partner. If you have to be out here for a practice day,
Yeah.
then I do like that, whether they're your day one partner.
Randy, is there anybody, a local sponsor, anybody that you'd like to thank? Because I know that you're taking time away from the fire department and everything to be able to be out there. Is there anybody that you need to show some love to?
hooking up
Yes,
track
sir.
now.
Yeah.
First off, I've had, from family and friends and all that. I mean, I've had huge support, from all that. And, I want to, thank the good Lord for letting me be here and do what I do. And then I also want to thank HW Marine, Elite Tungsten, and V&M Bates. They all stand behind me. And
They're
have
a
for
new
several
company.
years.
We hadn't heard of them much.
Yeah.
Well, brother, just go get them. All you got to do just bring that 18, 19-pound sack in 3 days, and we'll just go ahead and have them engrave your name on that trophy.
Well, I sure hope so.
Randy, good luck to all three of you,
Yeah,
the
man.
local
Amen.
guys.
We're pulling for
This is really a neat deal.
Yeah.
Yes, we sure appreciate it.
We're hoping that we be able to get there and at least see one of those days of weigh-in. That would be awesome. Maybe tomorrow afternoon. Randy Devers, good luck, brother. The FLW BFL All-American Cross Lake. If you want to go see the weigh-ins, I'd say be at the Bass Pro Shop by 3 o'clock each day.
Yeah.
Right along in there. Thank you, brother. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
All right, Randy.
Hey, here's something for you. In just a second. How the participation rate for fishing is up. They say duck hunting is down. Deer hunting is down.
Yep.
Fishing is up. That's on the way. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger. so much for tuning in, hooking up, and tracking down 1130 The Tiger. And you know what? Mike and Steve and I sit here every week in awe. Yeah. Because every week,
mesmerized,
this man sits in his cage. Peanut shells all over the floor.
Yep. Cheetos.
Yeah. There's, like beer rings on the table in there.
Mm-hmm.
He pushes all the right buttons in order to make this show a household name. I mean, who else could wear a One Love tennis visor?
Yeah. And pull that off.
And make it look good.
Yeah.
Make you envious.
Pull
make
it
you
off.
wish that you were man enough to get away with that.
Yeah.
There's only one.
We could not exist without the dynamic abilities of the one and only Jay Watley. Thank you, Jay.
Former Evangel Eagle.
Yeah.
Darn
No,
right.
you're never,
Go Eagles.
You're never a former Evangel
You're
Eagle.
always an Eagle. Once
You're
an Eagle, always an Eagle.
Amen.
Once an eagle, always a champion.
Thank you,
Always
Jay,
a champion. There you go.
for making all of us and this show great. You just think about that. We just talked to Randy Devers live from Cross Lake.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't have happened without Jay Watley. Couldn't have happened.
No.
This segment brought to you by Daiwa Rods and Reels, Bayou Outdoors Super Center, Rayburn Country Resort, and Seagar Fishing Line, continuing to lead the way in the fishing industry with both innovation and quality. Seagar Fishing Line is the choice of winning anglers. And speaking of those anglers, the numbers are on the rise.
They are on the rise, but Mike's got to do a Toledo fiberglass promo before we get to that.
You know, we talked about the Cross Lake dropping. All the lakes are dropping right now because summer's finally here. 100-degree temperatures this weekend, and more boats on the water than ever because people are getting out there and doing the skiing and tubing right now.
Sure.
You know, with the lakes dropping, water levels going down, somebody's going to hit something. Somebody's going to put a scratch. They're going to put a bobo on the bottom.
I wish all those jet skis.
They are already at Toledo Fiberglass.
I wish all the jet skis were at Toledo Fiberglass right now.
They are, but was there a spook stuck in the side of them?
Yeah, exactly. not their jet ski, but the rude little sucker on it. But anyway, I didn't do that. Yeah. When you do that, when you get that bobo on your boat, take your ski boat, your pontoon barge, your bass boat, whatever, to Toledo Fiberglass. In business for 36 years. Fiberglass repairs and restoration. If it's been sitting out in the sun and it's gotten to where it just doesn't look like it should,
they can rejuvenate
do that. Home of the Gorilla Hull with a lifetime warranty of the hull, not with one owner, but of the whole time the boat,
whole life of the boat
is still living. Humminbird Minn Coated dealer located just west of Toledo Town on Highway 6. We'll be down there this weekend. To learn more, go to ToledoFiberglass.com.
Speaking of that, you know, Pete Daniels, my fishing partner, is the service manager at Bayou Outdoors. And he was telling me these kids on the Red River, they are already lined up at Bayou Outdoors.
Oh, are they really? Oh.
Tore this off, did that, you know. I mean,
Red River's brutal.
We predicted that.
Oh, yeah.
That the minute they got here, you know.
Anytime you bring outsiders into Red River and they don't know where they're at or what they're doing.
You know what? If you were going to fish that, would you bring a metal boat? If you were fishing in the National College, would you bring a metal boat?
Can I say hell yeah on there?
Okay, yes, you just did. I was just wondering.
It definitely, in my opinion, gives you an advantage.
Yeah,
because you can get in water, skinny water that other big boats can't get into.
Can those competitors? Can they get out of their boat and push it?
Can't get out of the boat to get into an area. Now you can get out of the boat to get out of an area. But you can't get in the boat, get out of the boat to get into an area.
What if I just backed into it?
Backed into
it. Just turn my boat around so it looks like I'm coming out and I push it.
No.
You can't.
That's the trouble. That's the reason I'm gray headed.
Y'all hate right here.
You fishermen are always trying to figure out a way to beat the system.
Don't make it complicated. All right, let's talk about participation rate. In fishing, it has gone up, rose 4% to 49.1 million total participants in 2017.
You know what? I read here, it's been several years ago, that fishing was the 6th largest industry in the United States.
Really?
Now, that includes sports fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
That includes commercial fishing. But 6th largest industry in the U.S. is fishing.
1.3% of fishing license sales were up in 2017, making for a 4.3% increase over the last 10 years.
Wow.
So, youth participation. This is what I was interested in. 11.6 million youth ages 6 to 17 participated in fishing. That's up 5.4% from 11 million in 2016.
See, that's recruitment. You have got to do that, and I think that number needs to double in order to make sure that these kids are doing that. There's a great crop
I think
later
that
on.
number will, because as much as the high school and collegiate side of the fishing industry has boomed in the last 2 or 3 years, we still have a lot of schools that don't have it, and a lot of kids in schools that do have the program have not jumped in there yet.
Yeah.
So I really think that that's the number that is going to double.
And when you consider the fact that, as you're watching the collegiate challenges on like Pursuit Channel or something along those lines, these kids aren't, a lot of them, from the really big schools.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about ULM, Northwestern.
Yeah.
You're talking about LSUS.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not from the really big schools, the Bethel University.
Ouachita Baptist.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at it's like almost, hey, the small colleges now have, a way to even the odds.
Well, fishing is an equalizer. And speaking of equalizer, female participation, this is something I was impressed with. It's increased 3.1% to 17 million participants over the last year and a half, 2 years.
See, I always want Julie to go, but,
my
she
wife
doesn't,
ain't going.
She doesn't like the outfit I want her to wear while we're fishing.
First-time fishermen.
I like it.
First-time anglers, 3.0 million participants had their first fishing experience in 2017. That's up 21% from 2.5 million in 2016.
Okay, I want to ask both of y'all a question. When was the last time you took somebody fishing for the first time? Their first fishing trip. When was the last time?
A year ago.
You took somebody fishing for the first time?
A year ago.
Was that when you went with Johnny?
No.
When you took the girls?
I actually took a guy on Sibley Lake.
Okay.
Young
He'd
man.
never gone
He'd
fishing.
never
before.
gone fishing.
What about you, Mike?
I ain't going out with no pilgrims. Pilgrim.
He on his
Wait a
own.
minute. You fished with me once this year.
Yeah, but you got to hung up a minimum. And we talked with Delta Waterfowl here and talked about the numbers are down duck hunting, and somebody told us the numbers are down deer hunting.
Yeah.
Numbers are up on fishing.
Yeah.
And
Why?
I'm going to give my opinion on that, because we are cutting down and building on our deer hunting and duck hunting properties.
But they're constantly building new lakes.
Constantly building new lakes.
Yeah. Boy, that's a
There's
good
probably
point.
5
Access.
times as many.
And if you remember right, when we talked to Delta Waterfowl, he said that was one of the biggest issues was access.
Well, and speaking of access, I think one of the reasons it's down for hunting is you don't have as much public land to
Right.
hunt anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all private leases.
Well,
now.
that falls under the access category.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, exactly.
It doesn't do any good if you've got 1,000 acres out there. It's only 3 rich guys can go hunt.
Yeah.
Y'all's opinion, all this timber company land that used to be free to hunt, do you think it's good that they're leasing it out now?
Oh, sure. I think that, that honestly,
It's become a money thing, hasn't it?
well, hear this out. At some point in our history, somebody was hunting on timber company land for no charge.
Yeah.
They didn't post anything. They didn't care if you were there. Somebody got hurt. Somebody sued them because they were hurt on their property. And to me, that's the biggest issue is the legal entanglement, because now I have to charge and I have to make sure that you have liability for your club or whatever the case might be, because I got to protect my interests, because some clown was out there hunting and got hurt.
Fell from a climber.
Or you fell from a climber, or drove off
And blamed it on the landowner.
And blamed it on the landowner, and that's just wrong.
And it could have also been, used to be on those kind of properties, you weren't allowed to drive a nail in a tree anywhere. Well, people didn't abide by that rule. I
Yeah.
can tell you that because
Yeah.
I've witnessed it myself.
Hey, let me tell you what. Weyerhaeuser has our lease, and Weyerhaeuser will tell you, we are here to grow trees and cut them down.
Yeah, that's it.
You hunting on this is of really no consequence.
Hunter said the same thing.
It is what it is, and you got to understand, in that world, it is not a democracy. You don't have a vote unless you hold the controlling interest in Weyerhaeuser.
Yeah.
It's their land; they can do with it what they want to.
That's exactly
I
right.
just really appreciate the fact that they will lease it. I wish they'd quit going up every year.
Understand when you lease that
Let me
property,
tell
it's
you
going
what-
to get cut at some
Hey,
point.
Weyerhaeuser, our lease has gone up 10% a year every year. at some point it will get so high. Warehouser, I hope you're listening. I really enjoy hunting your land, but at some point you're going to get so expensive that nobody can afford you.
The average Joe.
And when that happens, then you're going to see a lot of trespassing problems.
I had a complaint at the gas pump in Natchitoches 2 weeks ago from a guy. That was his exact complaint. He can no longer afford to lease because it's so expensive.
It keeps going up.
I gave him a hat, and he said,
begging,
I love to hunt.
We're hollering mercy.
Yeah.
Mercy. Freeze the prices for a while.
He said, I can't afford it no more, and I hate it. I said, well, that's sad.
Well, you think that's bad? Take up duck hunting.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the importance of hydration and 5 tips on how to stay cool while you're outdoors or on the water. It's the Cigar Hot Topic next on Hook It Up and Track It Down. 11:30 The Tiger.
I'm a country boy, got a 4-wheel drive.
Want to hear what you missed on today's show? Tune in Saturday morning at 6 a.m. here on 1130 The Tiger for more Hooking Up and Tracking Down. This segment presented by Bob Seeley's Big Bass Splash Series, Wildwood Resort at Toledo Bend, Natchitoches Ford, and Bass Cash Bash. Register for the Toledo Bend event going on right now through Labor Day. Go to basscashbash.com and sign up today. Remember, don't be that guy. Now back to Steve Gary and the one and only Mike Eccles.
Well, it's that time, folks. Yard maintenance time is here. Summertime is in full swing, and the grass is growing. These late evening showers we've been getting, this makes it grow even faster. But there's one place you can go for all the tools and equipment you'll ever need to make sure your yard looks good year-round. Commercial Power Equipment, owner Paul Sutherland. Get ready for spring yard work. Blowers, trimmers, to mowers, they got it all. Carry the best mower in the market today, Exmark. They also have in-house financing available. Go to mybigmower.com to learn more about commercial power equipment.
You know what, Mike, in all the years you were a fireman, I'm sure you've seen, because we talked earlier about bites and stings and things, I'm sure you've seen people in anaphylactic shock from wasp stings or bee stings, whatever the case might be, spider bites, something along those lines. How often, though, did you run across somebody who was having a heat stroke or had gone through something like that?
Oh, that was common.
Yeah,
what are the signs? Some people have told me that if you quit sweating, you're in a bind.
That's true. That's your body. Your brain tells your body to sweat, to put moisture on your skin to cool down your outside temperature. That's what they're doing. It's okay. Turn the air conditioner on.
Yeah.
That's what your body's doing. When you run out of perspiration, you have lost the fluids in your body, which is bad.
Right.
Yes. When you're exactly right. When you quit sweating, it's not.
Now,
I'm not saying it's too late. You're in bad trouble.
Now, I've also heard to pay attention to the color of your urine, because the brighter yellow that it is, the less hydration there is in your body. The clearer your urine is, then you've got more fluids in your body. How often would you tell somebody that you need to be, especially like this weekend? Billy Phipps, I love you, Billy. Billy's not young anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
not
old codger.
Exactly. How often does somebody need to slow down and drink a bottle of water?
I don't know the rules on that, but I know you need to be taking a sip constantly. For some reason, sitting down and drinking a half a bottle at one time is not good for you.
Yeah.
Really?
Right. That's right.
Your body absorbs, it disperses it better. And I know somebody out there that knows the real answer, saying, well, that's screwy. But it's just better for you if you are constantly sipping.
Yeah. Joey Hood, will you text Mike and give him the research on that?
No, he'll find it. The ultimate researcher. But just constantly. The other thing is, one of the neatest things that you can do is the ice and stuff, and you're going to talk about that, is the ice towels. Keep your towels in the cold water with the ammonia and stuff, spirits of ammonia on there. We'll get to that in just a second because I saw you had it wrote down.
Yeah.
But you keep your head, the back of your neck cool. And that will cool your blood temperature down.
Oh, wow.
The other thing, too, is your wrist. A lot of blood flows through your wrist.
Yeah.
So that's another place you can cool your body down. If you want to pour cold water over your wrist, that's another way to cool your body down pretty
Keep
quick.
a couple of towels, like in the
ice
chest.
Wring them out, wring them out, throw them over your neck,
Yeah.
or over your head with your hat on it.
Okay.
Yep. All right, number one, drink plenty of water, as we just talked about. Most anglers tend to ignore this or simply don't take the time to drink water.
Yeah.
Just like the other day, you asked, hey, you want a water graph? No, I'm good. I had my sweet tea.
Yeah.
Even though it's a liquid, it's still not the
That's
same
a diuretic.
as water.
It's actually making you cast water out of your body.
Exactly. And the other thing, once you've gotten to the cottonmouth stage, you've waited too late.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Once you have that cottonmouth set, you've waited too late.
Well, that fell under the snake bite category.
That's true.
Yeah.
But also, I get a headache. My first sign is that I start to get a headache.
You know what? They say that most headaches are caused by that. Your brain is actually devoid of any kind of liquid in there, and essentially your brain's dehydrated. And that's what brings on the headache.
Yeah. The other way, too, again, these are 5 ways to keep you cool in the hot summer days. Of course, drink plenty of water, number 1. Number 2, wear the proper clothing. I remember when my dad, when I was growing up, he wore these long-sleeve dicky tops.
Yeah, always.
And I thought, Dad, why are you wearing those? He's son, keep that sun off that skin. Well, I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard until I got older and realized my dad was a pretty smart guy.
Look at these Middle Easterners that live in the desert.
Yes.
Look at how they are dressed.
Yes.
The sun is your enemy. You're trying to keep that off of you. And like my Uncle Don always told me, working out at KCS, he said, I got enough clothes on to where if I build up a little sweat under there, he said, then it's constantly wicking, I'm kind of, any kind of a little breeze and it cools me off again.
You can sweat. Sweat comes to the surface, and it can evaporate and go away, or it can go into the sleeves of your shirt.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like wearing a wet blanket.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Long sleeve moisture management outerwear with SPF protection is so readily available now and affordable, which is true. Everybody's making SPF protective clothing.
I imagine the Hook
Columbia,
stuff.
Hook.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of brands out there that are making that now.
Right.
So make sure you get some of that because it really does. It works. It's great. Number 3. Mix up some ammonia water. This is a great way to get the body temperature down quickly and can really rejuvenate your body on those blazing hot days. And basically, I've got the recipe here in front of us, but it's also on our website, HUTDshow.com. All these 5 things are listed on there, as well as the recipe for the ammonia water, how to mix it, what ratio to ammonia versus water. It tells you exactly what to do. This was a lifesaver I learned about this playing ball. Our travel team, our little girls team, we had one little cooler, nothing but ammonia water with hand towels in it.
My mother makes one with mineral spirits or witch hazel in it.
Well, it could be spirits of ammonia.
It could
exactly
be.
right.
Yeah. Maybe that's what the mineral spirit is.
And you can buy that online. So, number 4, take a quick dip into the lake. I never really thought about that. You can actually get out of the boat as an angler, even in a tournament, as long as your arms are over in the boat. You can get out of the boat, dip yourself into the lake if you want to cool down real quick, and get back in the boat. And that's another great way to cool off quickly. Number 5, use a water mister. I actually happen to have one here for our TV audience. This is it right here.
Cool Blast.
It's called a Cool Blast. It's by Misty Mate, and that's not one of Mike's old girlfriends. This is actually a product name. So,
I saw her dance one time.
Yeah, Misty Mate.
Yeah, I saw that.
but you take this bottle, and it's got a pump inside of it.
Well,
And, of course, Mike's going a different direction with this than I would ever go.
I was following him down that lonely road.
We'll try to
Can
get
you
through this
demonstrate
segment
that?
without Mike making a joke.
Can you demonstrate how that works for us for the TV audience?
It's got a built-in pump.
Yeah.
I can't even get through this.
Okay, show us how it works. Come on, put it on there.
You fill it up with water or
Pump
ammonia
it
water,
up.
ice cold water. You keep this in your
All
ice
right, now,
chest or your
let's see.
cooler.
Now, it's
You
all
screw
in
it
the
back
wrist.
in.
Remember that.
I'll let Mike pump it up.
watch it. It's getting bigger.
and then you turn on the hose. Jay's not even paying attention
No.
there.
Sounds like
Okay,
you guys
now-
are having a lot of fun, though.
Yeah. Now this straps around your waist.
No, you can leave it in your cooler. I just take mine out of the cooler, and when I'm ready to use it, I just pull it out.
But see, that's the problem. If you would put it on you and keep that like it's designed to be, because I think that actually goes over your shoulder.
Yeah, it does. It could be a shoulder strap.
And if you had that draped around you, clipped onto your collar or whatever,
right.
so that it was close, you wouldn't have to think about going to the ice chest. You wouldn't have to stop fishing.
Yeah.
You could just take a drag every now and then, and you've gotten
That's
good cold
exactly-
liquid.
No, it's also you're drinking that.
Yes.
You could drink, but you don't.
What would you think?
No, that's a mist.
This is designed to
mist.
spray on your body.
Yeah.
Oh, I
But
thought
you
that-
could drink it if you just put regular water in. Don't put ammonia water in there. But
Yeah, but I thought it was
No,
for
no,
hydration.
it's
Okay.
No,
like a nozzle, spray nozzle.
Okay.
no, that's why you pump it up, Gary.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Well, I
want
thought
to
it would spray the water that way too. Never mind.
We got through this.
Now,
I'm
you know,
so
and back
proud.
to the spirits of the ammonia water. Not only for some reason seems to cool you better. You can take that rag, wring it out with that ammonia water, and put it on your face and breathe it.
Oh my gosh!
And it is a boost.
Yes, it
Yes.
will re-energize your
Yeah.
body. That's
Yeah.
that's what I like to use it for. And anyway, but these are the top 5 ways to stay cool in summer. You may have your own remedies at home, stuff that you do, but this is what we came up with. And the Mister is a 16. It's called Cool Blast 16 Classic. You can go to mycoolingstore.com to order one. They're about $30. They also have a reusable Misty Mate cooling towel for about $10 that you can also keep it in your cooler, keep it wet, wring it out. It's one of those cooling towels. It's designed.
Looks
for,
like a chamois.
Yeah, it looks like a chamois.
Yeah,
and
I
those
saw those
work really
I saw
well.
those on sale yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I might have been in Bass Pro Shop yesterday.
They work really well.
I've got one someplace in my garage, and I cannot find it. That Penny Berryman gave me years ago.
Wow.
Before she passed away.
Really?
She had man hands.
Yep, I know.
Boy,
because she was a
was-
water skier.
Oh,
She was a competition water skier.
she was a beautiful woman.
Yeah,
She had
very
man
pretty
hands.
lady.
I remember shaking her hand. I was thinking, wow.
Yeah, she hurt you.
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
She hurt
but
you.
it was one of those. Okay, so if Mike, back to the signs that
Back to the pump.
that you're having problems.
You know, I've been out of this for 15 years.
I
And
understand.
okay.
But principles stay the same. If my partner has just shown me signs he's not sweating, he's kind of woozy, we've launched, way away from anything. Is it best for me? What do I do? Do I
Tracheotomy. You got to go that route. I'm determined to do this on somebody.
Hey, Gary cut Pete's throat. Y'all hear about it? So, do I jump off in the lake with him? Do I take ice?
The last thing you need to do is shove him overboard.
Drop him in the water. And make sure his life jacket's on, though.
Pete be like a 160-pound tea bag. Get him back in the boat. No, I mean, seriously, if you could get over in the water, but you don't want to push somebody over or talk somebody into jumping out of the boat, when you get to that stage, you start getting incoherent.
Yeah.
You lose your mobility.
So, I mean, immediately put some ice on him and try to get to the ramp?
Get those. Crank the boat up. Turn the air conditioner on.
Okay.
Start driving around.
Yeah.
But make them put that towel on. Put it under their arms, on their wrist, on their neck, the places on their face, the places that the vessels are closest to the surface.
Okay.
That's where the blood gets hot the quickest. That's also the easiest places to cool off.
Okay.
Wrist, under the arm, on your face and your neck.
Okay. Wrist, under the arm,
And
face and
your
neck,
head.
in the top of your head. Okay.
So get those cooled off. Drive them around in the boat. Go to the nearest beer joint.
On the way, it's the Daiwa Samurai Braid Best Times to Fish. I know there's nobody got a tournament this weekend that's dying to know
Yeah.
what those Soluners.
Johnny Geist
schedule
believes
says.
in it.
Yeah.
He's already said.
We'll find out. Hooking up, tracking down, 11:30. The Tiger.
The Hook It Up and Tracking Down Show thanks you for tuning us in today. This segment presented by Nichols Department Stores, Spro Lures, Gamakatsu Hooks, and the CCA of Louisiana, making sure our coast and waterways statewide are protected and preserved for years to come. One more time, here's Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and Steve Graff.
Here's your Daiwa Samurai Braid Best Times to Fish. This weekend is rated very good for all 3 days. We don't see that very often. We're coming off of the full moon this past weekend. Illumination will decrease from 95% down to 80% by Sunday night. Extremely hot temperatures will make their way to the Arklatex region with highs in the upper 90s, even 100 now, or 101. Lows in the mid-70s. No rain expected over the next 6 days. Best times to fish are going to be late afternoon, which is not good news for the tournament fishermen. Friday. Best time to fish are 2:19 to 5:19 p.m. Sunrise will be 6:08, sunset 8:17. Saturday, 3:08 to 6:08 p.m. Sunrise 6:08, sunset 8:18. Sunday, 3:55 to 6:55 p.m. with sunrise at 6:07, sunset at 6:18. This has been your Daiwa Samurai Braid. Best times to fish.
Here's that tournament you were talking about, guys. Lineman's Fishing Rodeo. It's on Toledo Bend out of San Miguel. Kirk Weldon is in charge of this event. It's a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday.
No, Friday and Saturday.
Oh, is it Friday and Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. 6-1, 6-2. You're right. So anyway, that's all it says on there. It's only information.
But no, that doesn't mean that's the one we're talking about.
Oh, I thought that's what you said, lineman.
No, he did. That's the one out of San Miguel.
That's going out of San Miguel.
Oh.
The one we're looking for is the one I keep hearing about is a big bass tournament, supposedly out of Cypress Bend Park. Everybody seems to know about it except Sabine River Authority and Cypress Bend Park. They don't know about it, but it's somewhere on the internet.
That's why it's not on their
and
calendar.
It's catching one fish. You weigh in your biggest fish on Saturday, your biggest fish on Sunday. Now, this is what the people that have called me wanting to enter the tournament have asked, and I'm worried that there's a. I'm hoping that we do not have a mix-up with it being double booked down there at the park.
Like I said, I just went to the calendar of events. Like I said, it doesn't show up until it's been Lake Country.
Well, I don't know. I got multiple phone calls and emails from people saying, "Are you running the Big Bass tournament at Cypress Bend this weekend?" Which brings me to trivia. Sunday is what? What day is Sunday?
June 3rd.
Okay. That's the day that Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
It sure was.
It's
my cousin Trey's birthday. He celebrates his birthday every year on that.
I don't know who the hell Trey is. It's my birthday.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. You and Trey got the same. You're going to be 70 what?
Give me that pump-up sprayer.
Happy birthday, Uncle Mike.
Well, thank you.
No, you'll be 65. 5?
Yes, sir.
You're catching up with Robert J. Wright. That's old.
Hey.
That's old.
Hey, it's
better
than the alternative.
So what do we get you for your birthday? What are you wanting?
I don't want anything. I want you to catch 18 pounds a day, you and Pete.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. If we catch 18 pounds in 2 days.
For my birthday, I want to give you and Pete a boat.
There you go.
Now tell me this. For anyone who has yet to register for the Boss Championship this weekend, today is the ultimate last day?
Well, yes.
Okay. Now, granted, this is something you fished all year for. Why in the world could you imagine someone not, if you've qualified, why would they not fish that?
Well, some people just enjoy fishing tournaments.
Yeah.
And, and then they say, well, I may go to the championship, I may not. Some people may have fished them just like an open tournament, just to win money, with no intention of going to Toledo Bend.
Shotgun,
I fished 4 good open tournaments with paying 50 places out of 100 anglers. You can't do that anyplace else in the world, just about.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fish them, and I'm not going to go to the championship. Or some people may have gone to Toledo Bend and fished and not caught much, thinking that they just weren't on them, not realizing that everybody is kind of struggling right now for big sacks,
right?
And just not entered. So, if you've not entered, start fishing time for the tournament is going to be 5:45 both days.
5:45.
5:45 is going to be the same thing both days. First cast, lines out of the water at 3, and you've got 1 hour to get back around to Cypress Bend and get in line at the bag line, just like the rest of the tournaments. We're going to limit the amount of bags, and we're going to please, this is some of the guys just don't realize this. The fish are your responsibility until they get to the scales.
Yeah.
They're your responsibility to get to the scale. That means while they're in that bag, they are your responsibility.
Yep.
Do not put them in don't put them in cool water all day long and then reach over there and grab a bag full of lake water right off the surface and throw them out of that cool water in there.
Pump it out of your cool water.
Save you a couple of water bottles each day it slows things down a little bit, but I love it when Big Mike dumps that bag into that tank and you hear plump, plump, and you got a couple of ice water bottles in the bag. Yeah, keeping those fish cool.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. I never thought about that for the weighing line.
And here's the other thing you do. If you're going to start freezing the water bottles, take your catch and release. Put your water in your bottle.
I do that.
Catch and release and put just a little bit in the bottle. Put the lid on it. Freeze it.
Yep.
Then you can take the lid off. Throw it in your live well.
Oh, what a great
as
idea.
it thaws out.
Both of y'all that.
I know, but I forgot.
Yeah,
and it doesn't count if it came from
but
you.
Right now, everybody out there thinks I thought of it. Yeah, you did. You have mentioned it several times.
You did.
I use it, and they come in very handy, but I've never thought about putting it in my weigh-in bag.
Now tell me,
yes.
Tell me this.
Put 1 or 2 water bottles in the weigh-in bag.
What would you say on your catch and release? I know you use the G-Juice or whatever.
I use G-Juice.
But if you use the old powder stuff, and you said that Randy Farrer learned the hard way, you can put too much in there and you can kill your fish. How much would you put in a water bottle?
Well, you're not supposed to put more than a capful in your live well.
Okay, so if you put a capful in there and don't put any more in
a capful of Rejuvenate is this big a cap.
Yeah.
It's about not that big.
It's about an inch and a half.
It's not like the Rejuvenate, which is a little bitty cap.
Yeah.
But Rejuvenate, you can rejuvenate over, which is a lot of ammonia. Is what they say. You over ammoniate the water.
You know, the water
I
temperatures.
just put it in there till they go to sleep.
Water temperature on the lake hadn't been running much over 84, 85.
But you heard Johnny Guy say now it's 90.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Lake Fork though.
Okay.
We have so many more trees on.
It's going to be
on
100. It's going to be 102 on Saturday on y'all. So it's going to be warm.
Well, it does make you wonder about, because wouldn't it be terrible if the only difference between you and that boat was a dead fish?
Oh.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
What?
We are on a Texas body of water. No culling of a dead fish in the Boss Championship. No culling of dead fish.
Now, explain this one to me, because I know what the answer is. Graf and I had this happen to us on Lake Fork in a tournament when we fished the V&M specialty tournament.
Yeah.
If you've got a fish that's still alive, Mike, this fish is still alive, but it's iffy. Is it okay to go ahead and cull him then, even if he is still alive?
Yes.
A dead fish is constant. A live fish is classified as any fish that lays there and moves in any way.
Yeah.
That's a live fish.
Yeah, a gill.
Okay.
Yep.
So if it moves on its own, that is a live fish.
Yes.
And therefore could be culled.
Jamie Myers
If
just
it's folded over, looks like a banana in the boat. That means he's dead.
If his gills are white,
and
he's been
stiff,
dead a while.
He dead.
Yeah, Jamie Myers just sent me a text. He said the API, which is like SWEPCO, right? API tournament is a 2-day one-fish derby. Who calls them derbies? Out of Cypress Bend, but it's the first weekend in July. So all these people that
I did see something in July.
Okay, well that's what it is. I'm glad to know because I was afraid we were going to
Thank you, Jamie.
Yes, thank you for listening and thank you for clearing that up.
Real quick, another event coming up that Randy Despino, Randy Devers, Nick LeBrun, myself, several guys from this area will be fishing is at Sam Rayburn June the 9th. It's the ABA Ram Truck Tour Open Series. There's 2 events left. And before our championship in October on Toledo Bend. So I encourage you to go out. A great event, $5,000 guaranteed no matter how many boats show up. $5,000 first place.
You know what?
Roger Nixon's wanting to enter the tournament. He just sent me a text. He said, "Are you still on the radio?" Roger, if you had listened to our show, start listening to the show, and you'll know that we still are.
Hey,
I'll call you back, buddy.
Now this is one of those things that I think will replicate itself this year. Last year, you remember we had some really, really scorcher days in early June.
Yeah.
And then by July, it kind of cooled off.
Yeah.
It's like June was hotter than July. I'm telling you.
I hope that happens this year.
Yeah. Well, I got a sneaky suspicion it could very well be.
I want to be wearing the turtleneck in August.
Exactly.
You got to send us a postcard from Alaska.
Yeah.
If that happens.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to all of our local anglers that are fishing not only in the collegiate championship.
Harrison Hopkins.
Harrison, we've got the boys, J.P. Kimbrough and his partner, Jared Rasco, fishing for LSUS. We've got those teams that are representing us locally on the river. And then we've
Justin
got
Lucas.
We got Randy Devers, Nick LeBrun, and Randy Despino representing us on Cross Lake. Good luck to those guys and all the guys fishing in the Boss Championship this weekend.
I would I would take a bet right now. I would take a bet that one of those three guys wins this tournament.
I hope you're right. I really do.
Take us home, Brother Graff.
With hot temperatures returning this weekend, it's just a reminder, please take precaution and use sunscreen. Melanoma is the #1 form of cancer that affects more Americans than any other. More anglers today are also using neck gaiters, which comes with built-in SPF protection and are great for covering your ears, head, and facial area. Long-sleeve moisture management shirts are also available with built-in sunscreen protection. These shirts are also great for keeping you cool and your body temperature down. So when it comes to sun protection, don't cut corners, because the last words you want to hear is, you have skin cancer. For Mike Eccles, Gary McCoy, Jay Wiley, yours truly, Steve Graff, thanks for listening. Tune in next week here on 1130 The Tiger for more Hooking Up and Tracking Down.